Thanks to the support as a channel member, Aiden C97. Hands up if you thought we were going to stay in the Premier League last year. No, my hands are not up. What a season that was. And now I don't really know what to expect from this transfer special. We could be signing a group of players that push us on to further success. I suspect it's more likely we'll be leaving, but we've not been offered anything yet. Who knows? You can probably guess-ish by the length of the video. Hello and welcome to Club 2, part 31 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we have our season review and transfer special with Peterborough United, and that's where we're kicking things off with our end of season review. It's exactly where we ended the last video. You can see I haven't even got changed. The last video ended less than a minute ago in my world. You've had to wait 24 hours for it. What a monster I am. So here's our summary of the signings of the season. Adam Devine. Is Adam Devine one signing of the season? I mean, he's been a very good player. I guess a 7.11 as a centre-back. We signed him as a reserve right-back, and he's pushed Sykes out of the team. We sold Anderson. I thought, yeah, you know what? He was certainly been the surprise of the season. He's young as well, so he's only going to get better. Ekwa Elimbi and Devine are our centre-back partnership. Jaros in goal coming in January as well. And I think that's when we started to be good, when we reinvented our back four. Callum Doyle was signed to be a part of that and only played 12 games because he got injured fairly early on, and then Devine took his space, and the rest is history. Our three best new players were all part of that defensive spine. Brandon Williams did very well as part of that as well. Odor has been fantastic on the wing. Bizer, we need to see more of next year. We spent 15 million on him, and the jury is still very much out. Patrick Roberts, not so much. Mighton, Dehaney needs to move on this summer. Augustin, not so much. Berat, I think Berat, I described him in the last episode as an unsung hero. He's averaged a 6.67. I think maybe the midfield needs work. So results-wise this season, we were expected to fight bravely against relegation, and against all odds finished 9th in the league. 99% of our attendance as our average. We need a new ground, or at least a bigger ground. We'll see what the board do for that this summer. That could be the sort of thing that could entice me to stay at the club if there's a new ground in the future. As a Peterborough fan, I've already been the first manager to lead us to the Premier League. If I can lead us into a new stadium as well, it's going to take a lot to tear me away from the club. The board confidence is only a B+. What do I have to do to get an A around here? We finished just outside of the European qualification. Ridiculous. Moments to remember, beating Newcastle 4-0. That was towards the end of the season. It was the second big win in a row, the second of Jones's hat-tricks in a row. And that's when I think that day we knew we were going to be safe, even though it wasn't mathematically there yet. That was another all the big days involved Ricky J. Jones hat-tricks. I think he got 4 hat-tricks over the course of the season. It shows how many of his 20 goals were scored in little splurges all at the same time. If we can get him to score consistently, it's a difference maker. But at the moment, when he's good, he is world beating. And then the rest of the time, you forget he's there. And goal of the season, which we still can't show without... ridiculous. So, club reputation, we have moved up to 3.5-star reputation. Now that is going to make a bit of a difference when it comes to attracting players this summer. That is very much a good thing. All of our finances charging in the right direction. And we've doubled our sponsorship income. Broadcast revenue has gone from 3 million to 91 million. The Premier League is a whole new world. Prize money up from 400,000 to 25 million. And Ricky J. Jones, as you would imagine, has sold more shirts than anybody else. The fans also probably expecting more from Patrick Roberts, just like I was. This is our team of the year then. So Jaskalainen in goal. I think if the season had been a little bit longer, Jaros takes his place there, but Jaskalainen in goal. A back four of Williams, Sykes, Devine and Lopez. Again, no Ekwa Elimbi because he probably didn't play enough games. Berat and Taylor in midfield. No spot for Wassel in there. I mean, I'm planning on going and trying to buy him this summer. Maybe a rethink is needed. Armstrong, who did come in January and apparently did play enough games to get in. Kasani, who just kind of became a forgotten man. He only played 14 games. I'm sending him back to Everton with a no thanks post-it note stuck to him. And De Frutos, who we sold but was averaging a 7.87. That's not his results for us. That's how he's done at his new club. Because he played more than 11 games for us and didn't get a 7.87 for us. So that's actually how he's done for the club he's signed for now, I think. If we just click into him and have a look, yeah, it's brought his Al Jazeera stats over, which is a little bit glitchy. Football Manager, can we sort that out, please? I think we've had a player in our team of the year who shouldn't be there, and Ricky J. Jones, despite scoring 21 goals, only averaging a 6.96. What's he got to do to get that? Shows just how often he's rubbish. Just blows hot and cold. Scored every other game, averages less than a 7. Have you ever seen that before? Don't think I have. Accolades wise, I won. Oh, that was last year. I won Championship Manager of the Year. Why is it showing? Everything seems a bit broken. Fans Player of the Year then is Adam Devine. All right. I mean, I'd have given it to Ricky J. Jones, the man who single-handedly kept us up. Maybe I'm not giving Adam Devine enough credit. This is Adam Devine. If you want to have a proper look at him. I mean, he's good. Is he the best player at the club? No. But clearly the fans really, I guess he's to be fair, he's more consistent than Jones. So I'll give him that. He also won Young Player of the Year and Signing of the Year. Goal of the season went to Bizer, who I do remember scoring a screamer. Top goal scorer we know is Jones. Most assists to Odor. Considering he didn't start often, that's pretty impressive. Most man of the matches to Jones. So his average rating is nowhere near, but when he's good, he's very good. Highest average rating went to Devine, and we did break our transfer record this year, bringing Bizer in, and hopefully he'll prove that he was worth it this season. There's your confirmation it's the highest we've ever finished. It was good. Even if we got relegated, it was going to be the highest league position ever. It was our first ever time in the Premier League. Jaskalainen has moved into the team of the year on the bench, apparently. And this is looking like a very unfamiliar side now because we've brought in so many players over the last year or so. Is there anything we're looking? Where's the transfer budgets? That's what we're really looking for here. So the board are once again looking for me to fight bravely against relegation, which is interesting because that suggests to me after the season we've just had, we could still go into this next year, get relegated and me not get sacked, which I will take that all day long. I'm obviously going to continue to do that. I thought that was already on there, to be honest. But yeah, we'll accept all of this. If you want to give me a new contract, El Presidente, I'm not going to get upset about that. Team leaders are Taylor, Sykes and Jones. We probably need to move Sykes on this summer. He's our club captain. He's a team leader and he doesn't get near the team anymore. And that, as we know, can cause problems. Jones will obviously start if fit. Jack Taylor will be in and around the bench, and it doesn't hurt to have him around the club. He's not so far down the pecking order, he's never going to play again. Right, how do we say we're going to try and stay up? I think we're going to be in a relegation battle. Yeah, there you go. They're happy with that. Pump the fists. That's exactly the reaction I was looking for. And we'll do promise. We won't do. I never do promises. What have I got to convince them about? I don't need to convince them about anything. I don't read those things. Does anyone sit and read them? So this is what my personal assistant. This must be why is my personal assistant judging this stuff? It must be someone else's judgment. But this is apparently our best 11. Gaz Key, as ever, is our best left back apparently, and Williams is our best right back. I mean, it shows what Chris Clark knows. Where's Lopez? Absolute joke. Wassel and Berra in there. I mean, otherwise it seems about right, but not having Lopez in there is nuts. End of season break, training camp destination. Yeah, let's go to the USA. Have a nice little US holiday. And that we still haven't had the transfer budget. Am I missing something here? Whoa! Oh, my word. We've got £50 million on a new stadium. Oh, I almost took my tie off and put it around my head. Ridiculous stuff. We are Premier League, boys and girls. That is huge. I mean, that is huge on its own. But we've had 400,000 added to the wage budget as well. This club's going places. We're building a new stadium. We don't know anything about it yet. And we are in the process of searching for suitable sites and possible investors. But there you go. We've cancelled the expansion plans. There are plans afoot to build a new ground. We don't know when, where, why, how, or whether it's going to be named after me or not. But it's coming. It's happening. Am I even on the favoured personnel list? I mean, what have I got to do? Noel Cantwell, Darren Ferguson, Chris Turner, Mick Halsall. I mean, say it quietly for the posh fans that are listening, but I'm better than all of them. Where am I? Why am I not even a favoured personnel? Goodness me. Well, I believe, boys and girls, the cat has just been firmly placed amongst the pigeons. We are going to spend. Let's have a look at the team report so we can work out what... I am not prepared for this. I have nothing ready. That's it filtered to 3-star players. So we've got Jones and Patton. We know... I don't think we need to necessarily... Maybe bring in one more, because I think we're probably going to move Augustine on. I think at 28 years old, he wasn't a regular starter. I want to bring Patton back and give him Augustine's role, and then maybe bring someone in behind the two of them, because Patton has been out in France. He's got 5 goals from 6 starts playing for Bordeaux. I think that justifies a place on our bench next year. And maybe more. Who knows? Because if you ignore Jones, Patton would be our best right winger as well. So I probably would have been starting Patton ahead of Mighton as the season went on, actually. So I think that's fair. We certainly don't need to bring in any wingers this year. That's all I really did last summer, is wingers. I might sell a few, so we might still bring one in, but I don't think that needs to be a priority. And we've got Bizer, who really needs to prove himself as our attacking midfielder. We probably need another one so we don't ever have to play Taylor there, especially with Kasani leaving. Wassell is our best midfielder. I would like to be able to sign him permanently. We certainly can't bring him back on loan. We might have to look elsewhere. It probably wouldn't be the end of the world if we brought in 2 central midfielders. I think that's probably where we need to strengthen. We kind of stumbled across a good defence last year with Ekwa Olimbi, Devine. We've still got Doyle and Sykes. We've got Williams. We've got Lopez. I think we've got a good back four. Yaros is a good goalkeeper. We know we're good attacking wise. I think these are the areas we need to strengthen. Because if Wassell's gone and Ekwa Olimbi's in defence, Jack Taylor is still our best central midfielder. And as much as I love Jack Taylor, he is a championship player. And he played 33 times for us last year. He can't be playing 33 times for us when we've got a £50 million transfer budget. Right. Spend the o'clock, boys and girls. Well, I've just declared interest in 2 of my old boys, two English wonder kids, Jack Joyce and Sebastian Wassell, just to really see what that number is more than anything, because the agent said they don't want to sell. I made inquiries and we were turned down. So I thought, right, let's declare interest. Let's try and find out a price. But the media are saying £59 million for Joyce, how much must Ricky J. Jones be worth if he's worth 59 million? But Wolves have got relegated. So I wonder if that situation might change when that relegation sort of goes through and is confirmed in game. Norwich didn't get relegated. And 57 million is the number for Wassell, but they are both English wonder kids. They are the kind of player I'd love to bring in, but I can't spend that kind of money on them. I think we probably need to plan for life without either of them and continue bargain hunting the way we have been throughout the entire save so far. We have 3 boys going to the World Cup. Adam Devine, who, I mean, now the season's ended, he really is going up in my estimation. Adam Devine is in the Scotland squad for the World Cup. Jack Taylor's in the Republic of Ireland squad. Stephen Boyd, one of our Name in the Game channel members, has made it into the DR Congo squad for the World Cup. He's never played for them. He's currently on loan at Falkirk. Last time I checked, he was English, but I guess he's decided to go and play for DR Congo instead. He is... he's one for us to keep an eye on, isn't he? I mean, he's not had the best of season for Falkirk. As a striker, he's not scored a goal, but it looks like they've been playing him out wide, which might explain it. But it'll be very interesting to see how he gets on at the World Cup as another young potential striker. Who needs Jack Joyce when we've got Stephen Boyd? First signing of the summer complete, and it's a blast from the past. Where have I had Leighton Clarkson in the past? Might have been born last year, but it's a different Leighton Clarkson now. He's coming in to bolster the midfield. It's what we were talking about before. Another midfield option for us. Basically, this is our Wassell replacement. He's another one who fits the mould of our signings. Was at a big club, got released for free or next to nothing, had a good time in the Championship, and now we bring him back to the Premier League for big money and make him a key player. So it's what we did with Williams. It's what we did with Ekwa. It's kind of what we've done with Ricky J. Jones, although not quite. It's almost like the reverse. But this is kind of the prototype. Yaros is another one. It's the prototype for how we've got to do our business. We can't go out and sign players from other Premier League teams because they probably won't come to us. So we've got to find cheap foreigners who we can get work permits for, or youngsters who've been in the Premier League previously, didn't quite make it, that we can tempt back with Premier League football. Leighton Clarkson, boys and girls. Next signing complete, we've got ourselves a wonder kid, Lucas Novak. I said this would be the other type of player we'd have to get. It says right back. I've kind of brought him with playing at centre back in mind, because he's 6'1" and good in the air and should be a centre back, shouldn't he? Attributes experts, tell me why I'm wrong. He's only got 9 for crossing. This boy's a centre back, even though apparently the game thinks he's a right back. But he's Polish, 5 caps already, 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. He's as good as Williams or Lopez at right back already. He's better than Ekwa at centre back. So at 18 years old, we've got ourselves a bit of a bargain there for £5.25 million. So we'll get him welcomed in. We are currently trying to get Ethan Ampadu as well. And we tried to get him back in January before we got Ekwa, but we were quoted something ridiculous like £30 million for him. I'm guessing Brighton haven't come up, which is why, Brighton are stuck in the Championship, which I guess is why low offers were being accepted. So it's not just us in for him, but it's basically half what we were quoted for him before, for a player who, again, would come in as arguably the best centre-back at the club. I know we don't necessarily need to just strengthen at centre-back, but Ampadu can play defensive midfield, central midfield as well. And again, he fits the mould, boys and girls. I know he started at Exeter, but was at Chelsea for a long time, never made the breakthrough, eventually released, ends up at Brighton. He fits the mould. Let's hopefully get him as well. In case there was any doubt about where we are in the grand scheme of things, football club reputation-wise, Ampadu's going to Southampton, who were in the Championship last year. So, yeah, he's gone there. We've missed out on him. We've got a couple more in the offing, though, most notably because it's confirmed. We have Iago Santiago coming in from Tottenham. We're cutting out the middleman with this one. Went into Tottenham relatively cheap, never really got an opportunity. They're releasing him rather than letting him have the year off down in the Championship and then spending £20 million on him. We're just going to bring him in now. If he's as good as the scout reports suggest, then we've got a good player on our hands. If not, we'll sell him on for a profit. Win-win. We're cutting the middleman out again, boys and girls. Alex Robertson comes in from Manchester City. He's an attacking midfielder or central midfielder with potential to be a Premier League player in the future. To me, he's going to be a good backup player for Biza, which is exactly what we wanted. He might end up pushing past him as the season goes on. But he's, again, following that similar route. So we'll welcome him in as well. We got another example of where we are in the footballing universe because Tammy Abraham, who's had a weird career, he was sold by Chelsea to Inter. The next year went to Manchester City, then back to Chelsea again, who spent £39.5 million but then didn't play him for 2 years. He was on the transfer list. We had an offer accepted, but he refused to even discuss terms with us because he wouldn't even consider coming to Peterborough. He's gone to Fulham, who finished below us in the league. But you know what? Who cares? Because we're going to sign Gojko Belesevic. He's the one from Vojvodina, I think. And the last time we signed a player from Vojvodina, it was Mitar Sernajaki. And that turned out okay. So if we can't get Tammy Abraham, we'll get Gojko Belesevic, who 21 years old, Serbian under-21 international with 47 caps, can play in many positions. I don't know how good he's going to be, but he's a free transfer. And like I say, free transfer, Vojvodina, wasn't much of a decision to make there. And we are loaning Gaz Key out again because it's a transfer window. And we always loan Gaz Key out at the start of the transfer window. Probably recall him maybe a week before the first game of the season. We'll see how things pan out. We've just broken our transfer record again for another Wonder Kid centre-back. That's, for those of you keeping score, 3 Wonder Kids in our back 4 now, with the 2 new signings and Lopez, who's already there. Kind of glad we didn't get Ampadu. Lewis Parsons, 18-year-old English Wonder Kid, 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential centre-back. Coming from Reading, he's played a full season. He's only 18. He's already played a full season in the Championship. Was getting games for the couple of years before that as well. He's 6'4". You know, I like a big centre-back, but he's the best centre-back at the club. Parsons and Novak are our new centre-back partnership. They're both 18. That can't go wrong. Imagine being a Peterborough fan watching this going on. You lot, you've been here before. You know I know what I'm doing. You know I've got a plan. The fans in this universe, though, is he really going to do 2 18-year-olds at centre-back in our second year in the Premier League? Is he all right? Do we need to check on him? He's been given £50 million and he's lost his mind. Right, we have made it through to the 1st of January. We've done lots of business by the 1st of January, 1st of July. Lots of business done. Not much money left. A little bit of budget left in the wage budget. So we can still make more moves if we need to. But to be fair, the squad is looking a bit special already. So as strikers, we've obviously got Ricky J. Jones. We've got the returning Simon Patton, who is coming off the loan list. How do we do that? Coming off the loan list. He's very much part of the first team plans for this coming year. We've got Bajza, who we know about. That's not who I was trying to click on. New boy Gojko Balesevic with all of his potential as well. To be potentially the man between Jones and Patton. I might finally get the dream. That might be our front three. On the left-hand side, we've still got Odor. We've got all these other players who can play there if need be. I actually think we might have to upgrade the wingers because we've upgraded everywhere else so well. The wingers are now looking like the weak spot. But obviously Jones could go out there, Patton could go out there, and we could go with Balesevic in the middle. On the right, we've got Jones again, Patton again, Roberts, Mighton. Mighton we're going to keep around because he's relatively young still. Patrick Roberts, if we get an offer, we'll let him go. He's a decent option to have because he's covering all these areas, but he's an expensive cover player. We've got Bajza and Robertson as our attacking midfielders. In central midfield, Ekwarimbi can play there if needed. Realistically, he's probably not going to, although he's not likely to start at centre-back now, so we might decide to play him in there. But we've got Clarkson. We could probably do with one more in here, but we've got Taylor. We've got Berat, who is in there as well. Left back, we can go with Williams. We can go with Ekwarimbi. We can go with Lopez. Right back, Lopez, Williams, Novak can all play there. Centre back, Ekwarimbi, Novak, Parsons, Sykes, Devine. Devine was player of the year last year. He's our 5th choice centre back now. And Yaros, of course, in goal with Jaskalainen as a backup. It's a good squad. I don't know what the media think about it. I think all of a sudden we've put together a decent side. Season preview, we're still expected to get relegated. Brilliant. Finished 9th. Massively strengthened the squad. Expected to get relegated. I love this game. Players that have left, Malachi Walcott's gone, and Deshaun Bernard's gone, Lyndon Gooch is gone, Flynn Clark is also gone, and there's a few of the other players who've been released as well. There's quite a few there. A lot of these are players who were here when I arrived or players we signed when we were down in League One. I forgot Luke McGee was here. So that's the state of the squad. Obviously, it is free transfer day, so we're going to have a look to see what else we can get in the way of free transfers. In fact, where's the lad who's come in from Tottenham? Is he rubbish? Have we met? No, there's Santiago. Look, he is there. We'll see. We'll give him time. He was free. It doesn't matter if he's a little bit rubbish. Balesevic can play there as well. He can play everywhere. He can play centre-back, centre-mid, left wing and striker. First job is to work out what his position is, and he's got a soul patch. Oh, me and him are going to be very good friends. And we probably need to bin off some of these fringe players now as well who aren't going to get in this team. I'm looking at the likes of Stretton, Gibson, Byers. I don't want to lose Malden. Malden would be a good backup if we get rid of Jaskalainen, maybe. I don't know. One of them we'll get rid of probably. Where's the other fella? Augustin, probably bin him off as well. There's quite a few players we're going to look to remove and continue strengthening. One in, one out. We have a new 21-year-old striker, Alexi Haino, who's come in on a free transfer. He can play up front or anywhere across the attacking midfield. 21-year-old, full finish international, 2.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. Don't expect him to be starting straight away. But he might be starting soon. He's another one when we're trying to cut out the middleman. He's been at Chelsea for a long, long time. And with that potential, we'll probably loan him out. I don't think he's ready for the first team yet. But he could be an absolute superstar. On the flip side of that, let's just all say a heartfelt thank you to Ross Sykes. Having Sykes and Anderson at the club when I arrived is the reason we got to the Premier League, because the defence was so easy for so long. Neither of them were quite Premier League players. Wolves is the perfect club for him to go to, newly relegated. He'll tear it up in the Championship again. He was our captain. Thank you, Ross. But we've obviously upgraded the defence considerably again this summer, and he'd already lost his place. So, yeah, good to see him. Good to see him falling on his feet. Wolves should make him captain, and they'll come up as champions. You didn't think we weren't going to do any loans, did you? Danny Francis is in on loan from Liverpool for the season. He is an English wonder kid, central midfielder who can also play attacking midfield. 3.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential ability. Better than either of our existing attacking midfielders. Better than any of our existing central midfielders. He was on loan at Sheffield United last season. They got relegated. You don't worry about that. Talking of Sheffield United, by the way, they have a player I want. Andy Parsons is another English wonder kid, 21 years old. Would very much like him. They've quoted us £100 million to sign him. No relegation release clause. Sloppy work from his agent there. And there has been more transfer business as well. And we've also signed Bruno Viana on a free transfer, just to give us a little bit of experience at the back. Our entire back four, our entire four centre-backs that we had were all 23 or under. So I thought, get someone in just to be a little bit older, a little bit experienced, take on the Sykes role. I don't expect him to play very much, but he can just hover around the place, being old. And that, I mean, basically what I do. We've also sold D'Amico Dehaney's gone to Aston Villa for 2.9 million. Sullivan's gone to Huddersfield for 1.4 million. Augustine's gone to Frankfurt for 1.3 million. Jaskalainen's gone to Leeds for 7.25 million. And presumably he's desperate for them to sign a whole player. That's all he ever wanted when he was with us. That means we've still got £33 million to spend. We're kind of saving up for Parsons. I don't know if we're going to get him. We're certainly not going to spend £100 million on him, but I am continuing to pursue him, as I am Jack Joyce. They're the two more English wonder kids. Can't get either of them. Both of them, or he was unhappy. He's no longer unhappy at Wolves. That's a bit of a problem. Is Parsons still unhappy at Sheffield United? No. Oh, they've been tickled. Oh, hold on. Wants to leave the club due to getting relegated. So he is still unhappy. I've set him as my top transfer target. I want him. Oh, since we've last met, I've signed 3 goalkeepers. That's it. It's all you need to know, really. One of them is Mile Svila, 26 years old, veteran of Apollon last year. He was scouted at 4.5 stars. I'm sacking my scout because he's apparently not as good as Yaros, which means I've just spent £6 million on a backup goalkeeper, having just spent £2 million on 2 other backup goalkeepers. Kevin Quigley came in from Dundalk, and he's 20 years old, Irish potential, 2.5 stars. And Vlad Ispas is an 18-year-old Romanian under-21 international who long-term is probably the one, 5-star potential. But he's also coming to play backup. 3 backup goalkeepers, £8 million spent. Goalkeepers are the new wingers, apparently. I mean, I don't have an explanation for it. I thought one of them would be any good. Just making sure all those guys are under 21. They are. We are still. We've only got 4 foreign players in the squad. We need to sign some more foreign players. Still got loads of money left. Still can't get Parsons. Very sad. I've officially given up on Parsons for now, so we've gone after another winger, Shola Shortire, who is in from Manchester United. He's another one who can play attacking midfield, but he's in to play on that left-hand side. 3.5-star current ability, 4.5-star potential. He's better than any other left winger we've got at the club. He was on loan at Palace last year. And I mean, it's another quality signing. The only position we've not strengthened this summer now is right wing. And you could argue just having Simon Patton return from his loan has strengthened the right wing. It's a very, very new look squad. More signings have come in this summer than last summer. I worry that we might be wrecking dynamics. Let's hope that doesn't go against me. It'll be fine. Do we need a striker? Because Jones is so inconsistent. Talking crazy now, aren't I? I decided we did need a striker. Welcome, Eddie Nketiah. 3.5 star current ability player, just an out-and-out striker to compete with Ricky J. Jones. He spent the last few years playing in the Championship for Brighton, scoring all the goals. He's a little older, but it is the same old story. Premier League club didn't quite make it, went to the Championship, tearing it up. We bring him in. He fits the mould, therefore he's in. Like I say, a little bit older than what we'd normally do, but a striker's a striker. We needed one. Now all I want now, all he wants at this point, the last piece of the puzzle, is a right winger. And then we've upgraded every single position. Watch this space. Boys and girls, here's our winger, Facundo Pellistri, from Manchester United. 3.5 star current ability, 4 star potential. He's a natural right winger, can play on the left or up front as well. And just like the theme of the summer has been, he's the new best player at the club in his position. A nice, quick winger. And guess what? I'm like a broken record. Went to Manchester United, never really got a chance. We've cut out the middleman after all these little loans. I mean, he's had 3 years of loans in the Premier League. Last year at Bournemouth, 9 goals, 4 assists playing in the Premier League. So he is in as well. And that is now us fully spent up. We have no money left. Just randomly give him a squad number because I know how much it upsets you. Let's just check that everyone is registered into the squad. Look at all these new faces at the top. Where's Lopez? If we sort by ability, Lopez and then Jones and then Ekwa-Elimbi. They're the ones that were here before. But it shows how good these new signings have been. Let's just make sure we're not missing anybody out of the squad. Ispas is under 21, isn't he? Yeah, so everybody still gets in. I mean, we've still got George Byers and Louis Malden in the squad. There's no fear of us not fitting players in just yet. We've not got that much of a bloated squad. But this is what the squad looks like now. And if we get relegated now, I don't understand this game. And a lot of you have been telling me for years I don't understand this game. So there's a chance it could happen. But up front, as options, we've got Jones, we've got Nketiah, we've got Pellistri, we've got Patton, we've got Bizer. On the left wing, Shortire, Nketiah, Pellistri, Jones, Odor. Right wing, Pellistri, Jones, Mighton, Bizer, Shortire. Attacking midfield, Francis, Bizer, Shortire again. In the middle, I'm not counting Ekwa-Elimbi in there, I don't think. Watch me start him now on the first day of the season. But Francis probably going to play that when we might play Ekwa-Elimbi actually. Taylor, Clarkson, I forgot we signed Leighton Clarkson. Santiago as a new boy in as well. At left back, Williams, Ekwa-Elimbi, right back, Lopez. Williams again can cover both. Lopez can cover both. Novak can play out there as well. In the middle, Ekwa-Elimbi, Novak, Parsons, Devine, Doyle. In goal, Yaros, Fila, plus the youngsters. That, boys and girls, is a squad that stays in the Premier League. That could be a squad that gets into Europe. The bookies think we'll finish 17th. What have I got to do? But we have spent all the money on both aspects of money spending. So we will call that the end of the transfer special. There's still officially a week of summer left before we play Crystal Palace on the first day of the season. But that is going to be tomorrow's video. Palace at home, Bournemouth away, as we get to meet the new boys. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.